Starting now, this is your local news leader, News 10 ABC in the morning.
It's been a really long journey for me and my family. It hasn't always been the easiest.
The clock is ticking to apply for settlement money after water contamination was discovered in a local town. How many days you have left to apply?
Training that could save lives. New programs being offered by local police departments to prevent overdoses.
And a pup hitting the slopes to keep skiers safe. I'll tell you all about Lola, why she's the top dog at her ski resort.
Aw. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us on your Friday. Happy Friday.
TGIF. We made it, and we're freezing our butts off again.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Coldest morning that we've seen in or at least 5 days or so across parts of the area. So, you know, it's about time that we started to see more of the Arctic air coming in. As we look up towards the north, many spots waking up to air temperatures that are sub-zero. Coldest number I can find right now coming in at 25 below. That is Tupper Lake at the moment. It is 5 degrees below zero in Bolton Landing. Meanwhile, B-Spy, you're waking up to 12 below. Only spot above zero right now, at least up to the north, is Greenwich, and just barely. It's 4 degrees outside your window this morning. Heading into the Capital District, around zero for Colony. Also for Hoosick Falls, it's 2 below. Meanwhile, in Cobleskill, just 4 in Chatham, and we have more of those readings that are right around zero, if not slightly below, over into the Berkshires as we kick off the day. Wind chills, meanwhile, just that much harsher. Some of those readings still trying to come in for areas up to the north of Albany, but it does feel like 10 below here in the capital city, 18 degrees below zero for your wind chill. In Manchester, Vermont, meanwhile, it feels like 8 below in both Pittsfield and also North Adams. For those of you in the hills, the higher elevations, still under that wind chill advisory until 10 o'clock this morning. So that's really the time frame that we are looking at some of the coldest wind chills that could be as low to even, as 20 to even 30 degrees below zero. As we go throughout the day, not much of a warm up. Wind chills will stay below zero all day long. We'll talk about when we could see some slightly less cold air coming our way. That's in your storm tracker forecast in just a bit. Mary.
Well, that would be nice. Thank you, Jill. Getting a check of your traffic this morning. Not seeing many changes here. We are still looking like smooth sailing out there this morning. Not a lot going on. I-90 westbound at exit 3, state offices. We're at 61 miles per hour. Northway still clear. Southbound near exit 13, Saratoga Springs. We're moving at 69 miles per hour. Let's go out to one of our DOT traffic cameras. A look at I-90 at exit 3, which we just checked in on and we know is moving well. Looks like building a bit of volume out there. Drive times now right where they should be. 20 minutes, 7 and 6 for the major commutes. Download our free News 10 ABC app. You can find it on Google Play or the Apple App Store.
Well, happening today, community groups and Assemblyman John McDonald will hold a news conference in front of the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. They're demanding that the DEC make the Cohoes plant, Norlight, comply with changes in federal and state laws as to how the fly ash from its hazardous waste incinerator is handled. That will happen this morning at 11 a.m. Happening now, the deadline to apply for PFOA settlement money in Hoosick Falls fast approaching. Residents who qualify only have 3 more days to submit their paperwork.
And it's been roughly 7 years now since the cancer-causing chemical was discovered in Hoosick Falls drinking water.
Resident named Michael Hickey, the first to question what was in the water supply after his dad passed away from kidney cancer.
And now, after years of waiting, the company's deemed responsible for the contamination, finally reaching that settlement of $65 million to compensate residents who have been impacted here.
Settlement classes include property settlement, nuisance settlement, and medical monitoring. Now, if you owned a property in the village at the time the contamination was discovered, which was January 2016, you should have received claim paperwork in the mail. When it comes to medical monitoring, the goal is to catch diseases early, like kidney cancer, that has been linked to PFOA.
An annual screening for people who have blood levels over 1.86 of PFOA in their blood, who drank from a contaminated water source for at least 6 months between 96 and 2016.
That's Attorney Stephen Schwartz there advising Hoosick Falls residents who qualify to make that claim before Monday's deadline.
A hearing will be held in Albany's federal court on February 2nd, so a judge can confirm the settlement.
And after that happens, checks will likely be distributed in April or May, and the medical monitoring process will then begin.
PFOA chemicals found in the water in Petersburg in early 2016. Their settlement process also taking place. There will be sessions for those who need help filing claims on March 4th and March 5th at the Petersburg Veterans Memorial Community Center.
All right, some new details this morning on former NFL star running back, current Albany County employee Dion Lewis, finally appearing in court yesterday, pleading not guilty to a DWI charge in Guilderland Town Court. He was arrested back on December 23rd after a traffic stop where he refused to take a breathalyzer. He was hired in November as Albany County's Community Health and Wellness Development Coordinator. Lewis remains employed by the county despite the arrest here.
Your classroom progress report now. Green Island School District parents and students all saying the district is sinking as teachers continue to jump ship. The district estimating around a dozen teachers and staff have recently left amid increasing school violence and the lack of support from the administration. Green Island Police confirming officers are aware of the increase in school violence. Teachers saying they're leaving the district because the disciplinary policies don't allow them to report many incidents, and they feel unsupported by Superintendent Kimberly Ross.
The classrooms are struggling, the academics are struggling, the kids are out of control, the morale in the school is awful.
Parents and students say fights are happening weekly. Superintendent Ross sent an email to teachers claiming the teachers have bad relationships with their students.
All right, to the latest on the pandemic now. Michigan State University researching if marijuana could help treat COVID-19. Norbert Kaminsky is a professor of pharmacology and toxicology there at Michigan State. As the pandemic continues, he's working with a pharmaceutical company called GB Sciences. They're taking certain compounds called cannabinoids from the marijuana plant to eventually, hopefully, combat breathing problems associated with the virus.
It really is the only plant that I'm aware of that makes these molecules, therapeutics that are able to stem or decrease inflammation, especially the type of inflammation that COVID causes could be very helpful.
Kaminsky says right now they're still in the trial and error stage, but the eventual goal, of course, is to create an over-the-counter drug to help breathing problems caused by COVID-19. He says those compounds they're extracting from the plant do not contain the chemical that makes people feel high.
Getting your hands on an at-home COVID test we know is difficult, but it's an important tool in fighting the pandemic. However, the world's largest civil rights organization of the blind raising concerns about non-visual access to those tests. Now, the National Institute for the Blind saying the tests were not made with Braille or other tools to be accessible without assistance from another person who can use sight. Kathy Thompson, who's diagnosed with Usher syndrome, which affects both her vision and her hearing, describes the difficulty of trying to read an at-home COVID test result, which showed up as a pink line on a white background.
With my vision, I need high contrast, and I had to have someone here at the house who could read the test results because I was afraid I was going to read them incorrectly.
National Federation of the Blind working to make at-home COVID tests more accessible.
Looking ahead now, free COVID-19 rapid test kits will be handed out at Aviation Mall up in Queensbury this weekend. They'll be handed out tomorrow, Saturday, from 10 to noon. Handout will be right at the 99 restaurant entrance to the mall. Tests will be available first come, first served basis, and they are being offered in cooperation with Southern Adirondack Independent Living and the state of New York. More information can be found on our website, news10.com.
In the fight against opioid addiction, local police departments offering free training for people to spot an overdose and administer that life-saving drug. In Governor Kathy Hochul's 2023 executive budget, she announced a $402 million increase in support for the Office of Addiction Services and Supports, which could mean more help for those struggling with addiction in the Empire State. In an effort to help with preventing overdoses, local police departments like Mechanicville and the Saratoga County Sheriff's Office are offering free Narcan training for anyone who wants to learn.
For us, that's part of the training, is to let people come here and learn how do you get access to it, how does it work, what are the dangers if there are any, and just being comfortable after being taught by somebody in law enforcement how it works. A lot of people are just afraid to use it because they don't realize what it is or how it works.
The training explains how the drug works and how to spot an overdose. Of course, most importantly, how to administer Narcan to someone who may need it. And if you want to learn and attend a local Narcan training class, we have some information listed on our website on that, news10.com.
4 booties to keep the ice off her paws and a vest showing Lola's on the job.
She's a busy member of the Cannonsburg Ski Patrol in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Lola's handler, Erica Chapman, felt that bringing her to the team would help build a connection between skiers and ski patrollers. So she thought, what better way to do it than bringing a pup on board?
Yeah, Lola is a Vizsla. That's a dog breed known for their high energy, love of people. Makes her the perfect addition there on the slopes.
She really hones in on anyone that's having a tough time. If she noticed someone on the floor or sitting down, she will go right up to them and kind of check in on them.
You can tell she loves to hit the slopes, right? Look at
And
her.
the people too.
Yeah, booties don't bother her.
No, some dogs won't wear them, right?
They don't like them, right?
Well, sick calls reach a pandemic high in the United States amid the latest wave of COVID-19 and the latest strain.
How the virus is keeping people home even if they aren't sick.
And if you've heard of ride sharing and bike sharing, we'll tell you about a new hot commodity ahead for the Big Apple.
Here's your daily reminder that if you know of anybody giving back and helping others in need where you live, we want to know about it. Put it all in an email. Send it off to news@news10.com or drop the story on social media, but hashtag it Giving on 10 so we can find it and get it on air.
You're watching News 10 ABC, your local news leader, with Christina Arangio, Ryan Peterson, Mary Wilson, and meteorologist Jill Swed.